Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of DMS 3000 News. It's episode number 139 on this pre St. Patrick's Day weekend, March 15, 2024. We're here on this Friday afternoon and ready to go with another great bound of articles pertaining to the look of the Irish today. Yes, since we won't be here on Sunday to celebrate it with you, we're doing this special pre-St. Patrick's Day show in honor of the man who founded Catholicism and all the other great stuff. And on the death of his birthday, he basically gave us the religious holiday. We'll look at, of course, we talked about St. Patrick himself yesterday, and today we're going to be looking at some fantastic traditions and stuff that you may not have known about that you would never think St. Patrick's Day was associated with. But we've got those articles for you today. Of course, we have our headlines and other great stuff. So let's take a look at the articles for today. What does Erin go bragh mean? Well, it's an interesting Irish saying that a lot of Irish people know, but a lot of us don't know what it means. So we'll give you that story in just a little bit. Also, we have 20 St. Patrick's Day traditions that will bring you luck. Maybe. It's interesting to note. Any of them could bring you luck if you really truly believe it. Something that just gives you a lot of good feeling and always gives you something to look forward to. That's all the luck you need in life. You know what I mean? And why 4-leaf clovers are considered lucky. You know, you've seen those 3-leaf clovers. Well, there's 4-leaf clovers out there, and sure enough, there's 5-leaf clovers out there. Those are even more rare and luckier than the 4-leaf ones. So check those out. We'll do that at the end of the program, towards the end of the program. Plus, of course, got our headline sports. Another important information. What day's today? Of course, we'll look at that later on with the motivation of the day toward the end of the program as well. Okay? 139th show of today. When we come back on Monday, we will be on episode number 140, and the episodes just keep climbing. Gosh, it was only many, many weeks ago that we had the first episode back in June, and we're getting close to that 3-month period where we're less than 3 months away from our anniversary week, going into the second season of this program. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for that special celebration. I hope to have lots of special guests, and we do a lot of reminiscing on that show. So I'm going to need somebody's help kind of putting that show together for the weeks. So if you'd like to be part of the celebration, drop us a line. Let us know what you want to take part in and what you want to help us with. And we'll gladly definitely get you on that project so that way we can have a smooth week during that anniversary. Okay? All right, let's take a look at, of course, our headlines, our sports, and other important stuff today. Of course, these are the headlines today for March 15, 2024. As Trump continues to remake RNC in his image, new memo outlines what that looks like. Chair Michael Whatley sent a memo to staff emphasizing the initiatives he wants to see bolstered at the GOP's main campaigning operation now that Trump secured the delegates to receive the nomination. Flanked by Fat Joe, Harris urges DEA to get to it on its marijuana review. Vice President Harris framed marijuana reform as a racial justice issue. It's also something that polls well with young voters. Oh, yeah, I guess. A major settlement could spell an end to 6% real estate commissions. The National Association of Realtors has reached a national settlement that could change the way real estate agents are paid. Critics say the current system keeps commissions artificially high. What is the breast cancer calculator actor Olivia Munn suggested after her mastectomy? The questionnaire on the National Cancer Institute's website estimates lifetime risk and 5-year risk based on factors known to increase the likelihood of a woman developing breast cancer. Games made by soulless machines. Tech sparks debate over artificial intelligence stories in video games. Is the future of artificial intelligence in video games playing out in a cyberpunk ramen bar? Well, tech companies would like you to think so, but game writers aren't so sure. Wade resigns after judge makes it a condition for Fani Willis to remain on Trump case. The decision bolsters the chances that 15 defendants, including former President Donald Trump, will face trial this year for attempting to overturn the 2020 election result. Her insurer stopped approving her medicine that worked. Will a new state law help? When a law passed this January takes effect next year, health insurance companies will have 3 days or sometimes 24 hours to decide on prior authorization. Putin all but certain to win Russia's election. Chicago to begin evicting migrants. Russians are voting in a 3-day election. Putin is almost certain to win. Chicago will begin evicting migrants from shelters tomorrow when a 60-day shelter limit goes into effect. And for that, you Russians are all brainwashed. I'm sorry, but you have no business voting in Putin, okay? You're better off not even going to the polls and voting. I know. How dare I say and tell a country what to do? But when you got Chuck Schumer shooting his mouth off, I think it's high time that, if you got a dictator already going to win the position here, why go out and vote? Why bother? I know it's your God-given right to, but if there is no one to go up against this puke of a person named Vladimir Putin, and he is a puke, I mean, you look at his picture and you say to yourself, this guy has killed millions of people. And the Russian people, you're okay with this. That means you have a black heart just like he does. You have no heart and no feelings and towards humanity at all. I have no respect for you. Sorry about that. Percival Everett gives Mark Twain's classic story about Huck a new voice in James. Prolific writer Percival Everett often skewers different corners of American society. His latest novel, James, is written from the point of view of the character Jim from Mark Twain's Huckleberry Finn. A funeral home worker tracked down a family and uncovered a decades-old secret. A worker at a funeral home managed to locate the family members of an ailing woman. She didn't realize she was uncovering a family secret that went back to the 1940s. War has forced half of Gaza into Rafah. Palestinians there are at a breaking point. 5 months into the war, about half of Gaza's population has been squeezed into Rafah. The government was crowded before the war, but mass displacement has made it the site of a spiraling crisis. This week's quiz has no shady edits, unlike a certain royal photo. This week brought us an utterly predictable presidential death match and reminded us to not stare directly at the sun. But there were also some surprises. Were you paying attention? Former LA Dodgers Steve Garvey aims for the wall in U.S. Senate race. When the former baseball star won a runoff spot for California's open Senate seat, he reminded supporters that his primary victory was only the first game of a doubleheader. Oh, Jesus. Want to know about Russia's election? Sure to hand Putin another term? Or what to know? Putin forever. Russia's president goes into this week's election with no serious contenders, cementing his already quarter-century hold on the Kremlin through at least 2030. And why, oh, why do you continue to vote for this puke or keep this guy in office, you Russian individuals? You citizens of Russia, I don't understand why you are doing this. Why are you allowing this man to literally control your life? You are brainwashed, and that's the bottom line. They were injured at the Super Bowl parade. A month later, they feel forgotten. A Kansas family remembers Valentine's Day as the start of panic attacks, life-altering trauma, and waking to nightmares of gunfire. They wonder how they'll recover from the Kansas City parade shooting. Suspected tornadoes kill at least 3 in Ohio as severe storms tear through central U.S. Tornadoes tore through several states, flattening homes and trailers in an RV park and killing at least 3 people, with more bodies likely to be discovered, authorities said. Colorado snowstorm knocks out power for thousands. The snowstorm also forced flight cancellations and shut down a highway that connects Denver to Colorado ski resorts for much of the day, stranding some people in their cars for hours. Family of slain Ukrainian journalist sues Fox News, alleging a cover-up. Oksana Kushinov's parents say Fox News put their daughter in harm's way unnecessarily, then promoted a false account of her death. They also point blame at a reporter who was with her that day. James Crumbley, father of school shooter, found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. A Michigan jury found James Crumbley was criminally responsible for the four murders. His son, who was 15 at the time, committed at Oxford High School in 2021. Judge denies motion to dismiss charges against Trump in documents case. Former President Donald Trump was in court in Florida where he's seeking dismissal of criminal charges related to classified documents he allegedly withheld and concealed from investigators. And finally, San Francisco Symphony music director Esa-Pekka Salonen resigns. Citing creative differences with the orchestra's board, the famed Finnish conductor and composer plans to leave when his contract expires at the end of the 2025 season. And those are the headlines for Friday, March 5th, 2024. Let's go to the NBA and get you the scores. Folks, we are now officially 13 days left to the first day of opening day for baseball. Should be a real exciting day for all you Mets fans and, of course, all the Orioles fans out there as well. Those are my two teams, and I'm hoping that will do some damage in their respective divisions this year. Celtics over the Suns, 127-112. It was the Rockets, 135. Wizards, 119. Clippers over the Bulls, 126-111. Bucks beat the 76ers, 114-105. Thunder over the Mavericks, 126-119. And the Knicks upset the Trailblazers in Portland, 105-93. Tonight's games have the Heat at the Pistons. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. Suns at the Hornets at 7. Magic will take on the Raptors in Toronto at 7:30. Clippers at the Pelicans at 8 o'clock. Nuggets at the Spurs at 8:30. And the Hawks will take on the Jazz at 9:30 tonight in the late game. All right, let's go to the NHL. Take a look and see what's going on here. We had a lot of games from yesterday's action. Sabres over the Islanders. It was a shutout, 4-0. Lightning over the Rangers, 6-3. Hurricanes 4, Panthers nothing. It was the Sharks losing to the Penguins 6-3. Coyotes over the Red Wings 4-1 in a shootout. Senators take on the Blue Jackets, beat them 3-2 and take those 2 points. In OT, the Bruins beat the Canadiens 2-1. Maple Leafs 6, Flyers 2, and the Devils trounced the Stars 6-2. It was the Wild over the Ducks 2-0 in the shutout. Flames over the Golden Knights 4-1, and the Capitals take care of the Kraken 2-1. Okay. Tonight's games have 2. The Ducks at the Jets at 8 o'clock, and the Kings at the Blackhawks. 8:30 is face-off time. Now we go again to spring training and the Major League Baseball. Well, gee whiz, I tell you. Like I said, 13 days to opening day. Let's take a look at the games from yesterday and see what happened. Rays beat the Braves 3-1. It was the Tigers shutting out the Yankees 7-0. Blue Jays 5, Twins 1. Phillies beat the Red Sox 6-1. Mets and Cardinals 0-0 tie. Orioles 5, Pirates 2. White Sox over the Angels 5-1. Cubs 3, Athletics 1. Guardians over the Rockies 13-7. Royals shut out the Diamondbacks 6-0. It was the Mariners 4, Brewers 2. Nationals 5, Astros 3, and the Rangers beat the Reds 7-4. We have finals today, 3 finals. Rays beat the Orioles 7-2. It was the Tigers over the Braves 6-1, and the split squad of the Tigers beat the Blue Jays 9-6. 4:05 games today. We have the Cubs at the White Sox, Guardians at the Royals. Royals in the split squad will take on the Reds at 4:05. Giants at the Athletics. Rangers at the Rockies. The Marlins and the Cardinals are just starting right now. At 6:05, the Phillies will take on the Astros. The Twins and the Red Sox at 6:05. And the Nationals will take on the Mets at 6:10. Okay, That's all for sports today. Now for the important information that we'd like to give to you today. Well, as you all know, if you look at our background here, we have 4-leaf and 5-leaf clovers of all kind for the Irish background today for St. Patrick's Day. I'm in my green, and tomorrow on Saturdays with McVeigh and Jay, episode number 3, our color will be green. So hopefully you'll tune into that show at 9 o'clock. It'll be the 3rd episode where our special guest will be an Irishman. Tell you a little more about that. But hopefully you'll be able to enjoy tomorrow night's show. And, of course, enjoy St. Patrick's weekend. So, folks, here's the thing. We all, take the holidays for granted sometimes, these special holidays that are celebrated by different cultures, like the Irish and, of course, the Mexicans and the Spanish people on Cinco de Mayo. And drinking is, of course, the center of the party. So, as a note to all of you who are going to drink heavily this St. Patrick's weekend, please note that AAA will be out and about. You can call them to have you and your car towed back to your house if you're at a friend's house or the bar, wherever you're going to be. It's free of charge. AAA will do that for you. So even if you're not a member, you will still be able to get a ride for free back to the house. Do yourself a favor, please have a designated driver so that way you arrive home safe. Now, another piece of important information I'd like to kind of give out to my Facebook friends. Folks, it's come to my attention that a lot of your accounts might be compromised. You might want to change your password and get your account back if you've been hacked. I've noticed a lot of trolls and scammers have been trying to pose as your friends, and they're sending me messages to try and butter me up to give a code out so that they can hack my account. I tell you right now, idiot trolls and scammers out there, do not frig with me. I've never been hacked on Facebook. And you know why? Because I'm on top of your game. That's why. Okay? You can hate me. You can despite me. You can try to fool me. But I can see right through your little thick skulls and your freaking fricked up brains. Okay? I'm not going to give you the time of day. I don't know who you are, and I don't want to know who you are. And for you guys out there that are posing as Asian women on these dating sites, please spare us. It really is inappropriate, disgusting, and get a life. If you really have to go as a woman in order to try to get somebody to give in to you on Facebook's dating app, really, you have problems. And I am not going to even give you the time of day. So, bye-bye, you narc assholes. I don't care anymore about what you have to offer, what you have to say, what you have to do. It don't matter anymore. We'll be back with more of DMS 3000 News with our first article of the day, which is, what does Erin go brag mean? We'll find out what that saying really does mean when we come back with more of DMS 3000 News right after this.
For a short time, China Coast is stirring up sizzling cashew chicken. But hurry, because tender chicken stir-fried with fresh broccoli, crisp carrots, and roasted cashews is going fast at a red-hot price of $5.99. And because you crave egg rolls, every entree comes with our free appetizer platter with endless refills. When you want the most, hurry in for cashew chicken before the offer ends. You got the crave for China Coast. Get the crave.
Barbara Rucker, interior decorator for Endust.
To take good care of furniture, I don't try to dust and wax at the same time with spray wax. Too much wax can build up. Use it occasionally for a wax shine. For day-to-day dusting and cleaning, use Endust. It's wax-free, so there's no wax buildup. Endust cleans dust, dirt, fingerprints, even watermarks, leaving a clean shine. So don't dust and wax at the same time. Use spray wax for occasional waxing. Use Endust for day-to-day cleaning.
Time to make the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts are always fresh. I made the donuts. We make them at least twice every day. Time to make the donuts. Not a few kinds, like supermarket. Made the donuts. Time to make the donuts. But up to 52 varieties. The donuts. Time to make the donuts.
I made the donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts, up to 52 varieties, fresh day and night. No supermarket can say that.
Here comes Wrangler, and he's one tough customer. He's hard to beat when he takes his seat, yeah. And when he says jeans, he means Wrangler. Wrangler style shows its stuff. Good looking when the action's tough. Here comes Wrangler, and he's one tough customer, and he knows what he likes when he sees it. Soda, same old cola. I want a rock and roller. I want a pop. I want a Shasta. I want to taste the zest. All the great taste Shasta has. I want a pop. I want a Shasta. I want a chill. I want a wild. Taste it all. I want it now. I want a pop. I want a Shasta.
You'd like a cup of tea? Come have a cup with me, 'cause Lipton is the finest quality for me and you. Now no other tea will do. We say the way is Lipton's any time of the day. Yes, the jiggler hits the spot. The jiggler's got the lot. We take the smallest beans from the finest crop. It's true, thank you. Now no other tea will do for you and me. Oh, Lipton's is the finest tea. For you and me. Oh, Lipton's is the finest tea.
All right, welcome back to DMS 3000 News. Episode 139 continues on this Friday afternoon, March 5th, 2024. All right, we're going to go to our first article of the day right away. We'll look at the what day is today and, of course, the motivation of the day later on in the program towards the end of the show. So don't worry about that, folks. We'll get to it later on. But our first article is, what does Erin go Bragh mean? Well, let's get the pronunciation right here. Let's check it out. Erin go Bragh. Erin go Bragh. Okay. I was right, and so was the translation. So let's take a look at this article from the Reader's Digest, of course. And what does it mean? Well, Bobby Dempsey is going to give us this explanation right now. Here's what it means. It's a hint. It's rooted in rebellion. Okay, learning Irish words and phrases is a great way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Erin go Bragh is one phrase you'll likely hear around the holiday and other times of the year if you're of Irish descent. People shout it with pride while partaking in celebratory St. Patrick's Day traditions. But what does it really mean? Well, similar to the symbolism of the four-leaf clover, the phrase has Gaelic origins, but it's also aligned with historical and political events. Below, learn more about the Erin go Bragh meaning, and we even share the phrase's origins, pronunciation, and the proper response if it's said to you. So, what does it mean? Well, it means Erin go Bragh is sometimes also spelled Erin go Bragh, but both are an angelicization of the Ire go Brach, which literally means Ireland to the end of time. The word Erin is of Gaelic origin and is an Irish word for Ireland. The second part of the phrase go Bragh, or go Brach, meaning till the end of time, which has also been expressed as till doomsday. So what are the origins? Well, by most accounts, the roots of the phrase trace back to the Irish Rebellion of 1798. Now, this was when a group of Irish rebels staged an uprising to protest against British rule. Unfortunately, their attempt to garner national support and organize a unified widespread protest was unsuccessful. and they were defeated in a bloody battle that resulted in many casualties. However, there was an Erin go Bragh flag, as the rebels used the Angelica-sized version Erin go Bragh on their banners and flags during the fight to express their allegiance to Ireland. It also served as a rallying cry. So, one of the earliest appearances of the phrase in the United States was in the 1840s. It was used on an old green and gold Irish flag flown by St. Patrick's Battalion, a unit of Irish-American mercenaries and U.S. deserters who fought alongside Mexicans and Europeans against the United States in the Mexican-American War. So how do you pronounce it? Well, the English pronunciation of Erin go is exactly the way it is spelled. Then the ag in Bragh makes an ah sound. Put it together, it's pronounced Erin go Bragh. In modern usage, the phrase is translated as Ireland forever. Most people who use the phrase today likely don't know the historical and political origins of the slogan. It has now become a sort of slang, often used as part of the St. Paddy's Day pop culture lexicon, shouted at parades even while the Chicago River turns green, or in place of cheers as a toast with a mug of green beer. Still, it is sometimes used by those of Irish descent to express their love for their mother country. Respond to Erin go Bragh by saying it back or responding with Happy St. Patrick's Day or cheers. Another response is slant, which generally translates to good health or cheers. There you go. Well, Bobby Dempsey, she's a freelance writer and editor and content specialist whose credits include New York Times, Forbes, Family Circle, Good Housekeeping, and many others. She has written both consumer-facing and B2B content for numerous companies in the technology, healthcare, education, and personal finance industries. Thank you, Bobby, for that fantastic article. And you learn something new here every time on DMS 3000 News. All right, when we come back, we're going to look at 20 St. Patrick's Day traditions that will bring you good luck. Maybe, but then again, maybe not. Just depends on how you interpret it. We'll be back with more of DMS 3000 News right after this.
Drink, love it like we do. I know I love mine. I see like I do. I see got a real fruit taste. Vitamin C too. I see. Fruit drink has such great taste too. That's why we love to drink high C. High C fruit drink. We love high C. Kangaroos, kangaroos are the shoes. Kangaroos, kangaroos, shoes to choose. Kangaroos, kangaroos, the winning shoes. Kangaroos, kangaroos. Kangaroos, kangaroos are the news. Kangaroos, kangaroos, shoes to choose. Kangaroos, kangaroos, pocket shoes. Kangaroos, 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 kangaroos.
I can't get my kids to eat right. All they want is junk food. Do they like chocolate milk?
Chocolate milk!
Try giving them extra nutrition with rich chocolate Ovaltine. It's got vitamins Nestle Quick and Hershey syrup don't.
Yeah, it may be good for them, but will they like it?
My kids love it, hot or cold.
So my kids will like Ovaltine and it's good for them? Wow!
When my kids want chocolate milk, it's rich chocolate Ovaltine.
More Ovaltine, please!
Moms have the neatest way to ease you into things. Like when you were a kid and needed a laxative, she wouldn't give you a harsh laxative. No, she'd say, Mom will make it better. Bet she meant this, Mom. Phillips Milk of Magnesia. M-O-M. And even when you're grown up, Mom gives you easy relief, not harsh. Doctors recommend Milk of Magnesia. See, Mom knows what's good for you. You know, no matter how old you are, nobody treats you better than Mom.
Come on along, I'll take you to the lullaby of Broadway. Hickory and Ballyhoo,
The lullaby of Broadway.
and in the center of it all
It's the Milford Plaza.
Stay at the Milford Plaza Hotel with cocktail dinner and breakfast for $43 per person. Discover why we are the lullaby of Broadway.
The Milford Plaza is the lullaby of all Broadway.
Tempty whipped cream cheese isn't just for people who like bagels.
And the Tempty, please. Thank you.
Tempty is creamy enough to eat with an omelet, light enough and fluffy enough to spread on a croissant, and delicious enough for just about everyone.
Bagel for your Tempty, sir? A bagel? What's a bagel?
Tempty whipped cream cheese is whipped, so it's bigger than the bagel.
What's a bagel? You heard it right, straight from the horse's mouth there. We'll look at that interesting cream cheese one of these days, Tempty. You know, Philadelphia cream cheese has been around so long, and it's probably one of the more popular cream cheese. But before that, Tempty was right out there whipped. That's the difference between Philadelphia cream cheese and Tempty. One's whipped. But now I think even Philadelphia cream cheese is even whipped either way. But that's for another show, folks. Anyways, we welcome you back to DMS 3000 News, ready to go for more St. Patrick's Day articles, and including this one by Tina Don Vito, who is going to tell us about 20 St. Patrick's Day traditions that will bring you luck. Yeah, celebrate St. Patty's Day with authentic St. Patrick's Day traditions. Yes. Okay, and when we think of St. Patrick's Day traditions, we think of pints of Guinness, leprechauns with pots of gold, bagpipers, and four-leaf clovers. But how did these traditions begin? And will they really bring you good luck? Originally a religious feast honoring the patron saint of Ireland, St. Patrick's Day has turned into a day to celebrate all things Irish, including the drinking. Some of the customs we associate with it are actually Irish American traditions, like wearing St. Patrick's Day colors. I'm in my green today, so don't pinch me. Well, you can, but still. But we can still hope a little luck of the Irish rubs off on us when we partake in them. So if you're wondering how to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, we share plenty of authentic traditions below. Happy St. Patrick's Day, first of all, or this weekend to you. First off is sharing Irish blessings. That's your first one. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. This is one of the many Irish blessings you can share with loved ones. The Celtics have cherished, or it's the Celtics, actually. That's what it is, more or less. It's the Celtics, but everybody calls it the Celtics. The Celtics have cherished Irish blessings for centuries, making them perfect to express love, hope, and gratitude for the day itself and days to come. When it comes to their origins, history suggests that sharing Irish blessings date back to ancient Celtic times. Bards and poets would offer blessings to clans during their travels, with many being rooted in nature. And learning Irish dances. Yes, make learning the Irish jig a St. Patrick's Day tradition. If you plan on watching the St. Patrick's Day parade, you're sure to see the dance in full swing, where dancers point their toes out, hop up, and bring their right leg up to their left knee, and vice versa. According to Celtic steps, Irish dances may have originated from an Irish clan marching tune, with Irish dancing having ties to early forms of Celtic dance. Celts were also said to have danced clockwise in circles on happy occasions and anti-clockwise when mourning, they write. They often included movements which involved repeated tapping of the feet on one spot. And watch those Irish movies. Yeah, gather everyone together to watch Irish movies. And this doesn't just have to be for entertainment. There are plenty of Irish films that focus on the history of Ireland. One film you might enjoy is The Wind That Shakes the Barley, about two brothers who fight in and are later divided by the Irish War of Independence. It's a tearjerker, but well worth watching to learn about the Anglo-Irish War fought from 1919 to 1921 between the Irish Republican Army and British forces. And looking for leprechauns. Yes, catching those leprechauns is more challenging than you think, writes blogger Zena of Let's Lasso the Moon in her blog post about catching leprechauns. This is a fun St. Patrick's Day tradition for kids, especially if they love do-it-yourselves. According to Xena, her daughters love making their leprechaun trap using a cardboard box and random art supplies found at home. Create a small pot of gold using chocolate coins, and maybe even do it yourself a rainbow for extra luck. They do say the pot of gold is found at the end of the rainbow, so you can do it like that. Cute, isn't it? All right. And what's St. Patrick's Day without telling some funny jokes? Yeah, get the party started with a good St. Patrick's Day joke and pun. There are plenty of Irish jokes to tell related to March 17th, from jokes about leprechauns and rainbows to wearing green and shamrocks. Don't hold back this year when it comes to tickling everyone's funny bone. Here's one the kids can understand. What kind of spells do leprechauns use? Lucky Charms. Cascade, yes, cascading, finding your pot of gold. Yes, kids will especially love this St. Patrick's Day tradition, going on a thrilling quest to find their very own pot of gold. Well, legend has it that the mischievous leprechauns hide the treasure at the end of the rainbow where it touches the earth. You can easily recreate the excitement with a treasure hunt using lottery tickets, chocolate coins, Irish potatoes, or any other treats that will make your family feel lucky when they're discovered. And putting up St. Patrick's Day decorations. Well, like any other holiday, St. Patrick's Day deserves to be celebrated with festive decor. Transform your space into a green wonderland. Think shamrock banners dancing in the air of green, or green flags fluttering in the wind for the perfect touch of Irish charm. Plus, the kids will enjoy creating shamrocks and St. Patrick's Day crafts to use as decor year after year. Noshing on Irish potatoes. Irish potatoes are a time-honored Philadelphia tradition that's been spreading joy for more than a century. And even if you're not in Philly, enjoy these delightful candy spuds that are coated with cinnamon and made with coconut cream for yummy goodness. You'll typically find them in candy stores, gift shops, and supermarkets during the holiday. As a fun fact, Irish potatoes are coated in cinnamon to replicate tiny potatoes, but they taste anything but. And despite the exact history behind their creation being unknown, some have guessed that they are meant to commemorate the Irish potato famine that lasted from 1845 to 1851. And of course, looking for four-leaf clovers. And we'll talk about even more detail about the four-leaf clover. But the good luck symbols of the common shamrock, which has 3 leaves, and the much more elusive four-leaf clover, they aren't the same thing. Biologically speaking, four-leaf clovers are extremely rare. Usually they only have 3 clovers, and a 4th clover is a mutation, says Christine Neely, PhD and director of Ireland's Great Hunger Institute and professor of history at Quinnipiac University. There are likely 10,000 3-leaf clovers for every 4-leaf clover. Wow. Since 4-leaf clovers are so rare, finding one makes anyone feel lucky. And the best part of all, St. Patrick's Day traditions may be scouring a patch of lawn for one. As Scientific American explains, using those odds, you'd need to scan a clover field of about 13 square feet to find one 4-leaf clover. Totally doable. And instead of counting each leaf, try scanning the clovers quickly. Your brain will be able to notice deviations in the pattern you see. And more common St. Patrick's Day traditions. There's a whole bunch of them too. Wow, look at that. Ooh, wearing the green. Yes, one of the lucky St. Patrick's Day traditions in Ireland is don the color green. As the hue symbolizes Ireland's lush landscape, this is why the Chicago River turns green on St. Patrick's Day too. Ireland itself is even known as the Green Isle or the Emerald Isle, Neely says. But Americans might be surprised to learn that the color also has a political history behind it as well. The wearing of green was a political and cultural identity movement in Ireland and a stand against British colonialism, says Neely. The Irish ballad, Wearing of the Green, laments the unsuccessful rebel uprising of 1798, and the color remains symbolic for Irish nationalism leading up to the country's independence in 1922. In the Irish flag, which was first brought to Ireland in 1848, the green and the tricolor represents Catholics, Neely says, and to show your support of the Republic, you can also say Erin go bragh, a phrase that has its roots in Irish rebellion. But if the green of the flag represents the Catholics, what about the other hues in the tricolor? The orange of the Irish flag represents Protestants, and the white symbolizes peace between them. Although all three colors are part of the flag and Irish heritage, it's still advisable to avoid wearing orange on St. Patrick's Day, as the color is historically associated with those who supported the British crown before the country became independent. And pinching those not wearing green. Can't pinch me, I'm wearing green. Another reason to wear green for luck is that legend has it leprechauns can't see you if you're wearing the verdant color. And if they do see you, they will pinch you. Likewise, tradition says you can pinch someone on St. Patrick's Day who isn't wearing green, but this may be more an Americanization than a true Irish custom. In fact, leprechauns originally wore red in Irish folklore. Pinching those not wearing green appears to be an American invention, says Neely, or just make sure you're protected by wearing something green, just to be on the safe side. Kissing someone who's Irish. No doubt you've heard the phrase, "Kiss me, I'm Irish," or at least seen it on a t-shirt. Where did it come from, this tradition? Well, although there appears to be no definitive source, the prevailing theory is that it refers to kissing the Blarney Stone in Ireland. So kissing an Irish person, after getting the conversation going with a few St. Patrick's Day quotes, is the next best thing. But although modern Americans might consider the Irish lucky, they may not be historically accurate. The saying, "the luck of the Irish," is not of Irish origin. Knowing the history, Ireland was typically unlucky, Keenly says. In addition to the Great Hunger, the Irish poor witnessed many periods of starvation. And when they migrated to America, they were discriminated against, and there were many stereotypes surrounding them. Still, Irish pride, or Irish American pride, may rub off on you, no matter your heritage, on St. Paddy's Day. And attending the St. Patrick's Day parade, if you happen to live in New York. Wondering how to celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Well, seeing bagpipers marching past the crowd wearing green and waving mini Irish flags seems like one of the most quintessential St. Patrick's Day traditions for those lucky enough to experience it. You may even see a few St. Patrick's Day memes online as the parade unfolds too. However, this is another tradition that actually originated in the United States, or rather the American colonies. And one of the first St. Patrick's Day parades is thought to have taken place back in New York City in 1762 among Irish soldiers serving in the British Army before the Revolutionary War. Later, when Irish immigrants who had flocked to the U.S. during the Great Famine in the 19th century were discriminated against in their new home, they used the parades to encourage and support pride in their heritage and culture. The American St. Paddy's celebrations were a way for the Irish diaspora to connect with their homeland, even for subsequent generations who had never been there. And Irish soda bread. Ooh, yes. Many variations of so-called Irish soda bread are eaten in America for St. Paddy's Day, but if you want to keep to the traditional Irish soda bread recipe, use only 4 ingredients: flour, often wholemeal flour, baking soda, called bread soda in Ireland, butter, milk, buttermilk, and salt. Historically, this recipe could be made by anyone, thanks to readily available ingredients and because it could be cooked in a cast iron pot over a flame instead of in an oven, which most people didn't have. But for the bread to be lucky, you have to cut a cross on the top to let the devil out, as well as to release steam during cooking. A superstition held by both the Irish and Irish Americans, Keenly says, in both Christian and pagan traditions, the cross is meant to ward off the devil and protect the household. But the baking of soda bread was not really a custom until the late 1800s. Try an Irish soda bread making mix to whip up a loaf of your own. Ooh. And not eating green food? Well, dyeing food or beer or anything else green is actually not an Irish pastime. Instead, it's one of the different examples of how St. Patrick's Day is celebrated around the world. But green food dye isn't one of the St. Patrick's Day traditions in Ireland because green food has some decidedly unlucky associations in the country's history. Green food is not an Irish tradition, possibly due to the historical trauma of the Great Famine, when Irish folk literally had no choice but to eat grass in an attempt to survive, then would often die of starvation with green-colored moths from eating the grass. Keneally says American celebrations of St. Patrick's Day likely use green food and drink to celebrate the greenness of Ireland. Example, the Emerald Isle. So forget the green beer. If you want to imbibe the Irish way, sample from Guinness Market instead. Sample some from Guinness instead as well, and from the marketplace. You never know. One of the most famous good luck charms from around the world is the shamrock. Legend has it that the good luck of this three-leafed plant began when it was a revered pagan symbol. The missionary St. Patrick is said to have later used its 3 leaves to explain the Holy Trinity to the pagans. Whether he actually did so is up for debate. Today, however, the shamrock remains a secular token of good fortune. In Ireland, it's considered lucky to drown the shamrock. Traditionally, the shamrock was dunked into a glass of whiskey. The whiskey was then drunk, and the shamrock at the bottom of the glass thrown over the drinker's left shoulder. Keenly says, allegedly it was St. Patrick himself who first dunked the shamrock in the glass of whiskey after wearing it during his feast day, but that is highly unlikely as he died before the day was celebrated. That's true. St. Patrick's Day in Ireland is not traditionally the raucous celebration it is in America. And it might bring you better fortune and save you from a hangover to not use the holiday to overindulge. St. Patrick's Day falls during Lent, a religious season of sacrifice. Although the rules were traditionally relaxed for this day up until the 1970s, however, pubs were closed in Ireland on St. Paddy's Day, and celebrations usually included a trip to church. So how and where did St. Patrick's Day become a drinking holiday? Right here on the USA with Irish American celebrations, which soon came to perpetuate the stereotype of the drunken Irish. Then, in a strange reversal of tradition, the Irish government was actually inspired by American celebrations to create a multi-day St. Patrick's Festival in 1995 to boost tourism. But not everyone is happy about the associations between St. Patrick's Day and drinking. There is a large movement to stop associating the day and the Irish with drinking, and now a number of such parades are now. I'm sorry, let me read that again. But not everyone is happy about the associations between St. Patrick's Day and drinking. There's a large movement to stop associating the day and the Irish with drinking, and now a number of sober parades, Keenly says, which is good because they're really cracking down on it. And although there might be nothing that seems more Irish than eating corned beef and cabbage on St. Paddy's Day, this meal is actually not an Irish tradition at all. Corned beef on St. Patrick's Day is an American adaptation, Keenly says. In Ireland of yore, it would have been unlucky to kill cows, which many have been used for dairy. In Gaelic Ireland, cattle were symbols of the wealthy and were only killed when they were too old or were no longer able to produce milk. Keenly says there were more pigs kept in Ireland than cows, so more pork and bacon was consumed. On St. Patrick's Day, cured pork, Irish bacon, was more likely to be eaten in Ireland. So, how did the Corned Beef Association come about? Irish immigrants in America may have adopted the meal from their Jewish neighbors. Ha ha! wearing blue for historical accuracy. So instead of green, you could also celebrate Ireland by wearing blue, the background color of the first coat of arms when the Kingdom of Ireland was created by England's King Henry VIII. The hue also has earlier links to a figure in Irish mythology, Flatidas, Arion, who wore blue. Early images of St. Patrick show him wearing blue, and later the Order of St. Patrick knighthood also wore blue. Even today, the national color of Ireland is blue, St. Patrick's blue, Keenly says. The color appears on the Constitution of Ireland and the presidential standard flag. As in the old coat of arms, a golden harp is placed on a dark blue background. And celebrating Irish culture. Well, to celebrate the Ireland that actually exists on St. Patrick's Day, not just the fantasy created around the holiday, take the opportunity to learn more about real Irish traditions. Sing an Irish ballad, listen to traditional Irish folk music, take an Irish dance class, read Irish poetry, or even try speaking a bit of the Irish language. In doing so, you'll become lucky, not for some magical reason, but because you will be blessed to have experienced the rich culture of this fascinating country. Very good stuff there. Thank you, Tina Donvito. She is a regular contributor to ReadersDigest.com, culture and travel sections. She also writes about health and wellness, parenting, and pregnancy. Previous editor-in-chief of Twist magazine, Donvito has also written for Parade magazine, the New York Times, the Washington Post, and Parents Magazine Online. Among others, her work was selected by author Elizabeth Gilbert to be included in the anthology Eat, Pray, Love Made Me Do It. Life journeys inspired by the best-selling memoir. She earned a bachelor's in English and history from Rutgers University. Thank you very much, Tina, for that fantastic article about the 20 traditions that you might want to take part in this year on St. Patrick's Day. Okay, when we come back, Irish soda bread looks delicious. Yeah, it looks pretty interesting. It probably almost tastes like a sourdough bread. Made me need a little sugar in it just to sweeten it up. Thank you, Purple Goblin. We thank you for joining us here as well, too. Hope you are having a great day. And, of course, Emu is here as well, too. There he is. Hey, hey, hey. All right, when we come back, we'll look at the third article in our list of why four-leaf clovers are considered lucky. That's coming up next on DMS 3000 News, right after these important messages.
You know, when something feels right, you go with it. It's something to believe in. That's how I feel about you.
Well, I feel this way, better than it's ever been before. I know it's you.
The feeling says love. Created with fine jewelry from Service Merchandise, America's leading jeweler.
There is a spot here, inside your head, that sets off your impulse to cough. Call it the cough maker, and call this the cough breaker. Vicks Formula 44 cough mixture. Cough maker, cough breaker. It takes a strong suppressant to help calm the cough maker, but Formula 44 has the strongest non-narcotic cough suppressant you can buy. Help calm your cough maker with the cough breaker, Formula 44.
And now, a decongestant cough medicine from Vicks. Vicks Formula 44D. It helps unclog your nose while it calms your cough.
My baby's not only got a cough, but also a stuffed-up nose. Poor baby. Here's Vicks Formula 44D. Its strong suppressant calms your cough, plus its strong decongestant helps unclog your nose and lets you breathe easier. You're gonna be all right, baby.
Vicks Formula 44D.
Feel like dining with a touch of elegance tonight?
Swanson's cooking just for you.
Swanson chefs have created restaurant-style main courses, a whole menu, like steak and green peppers with mushrooms and onions and just a touch of sherry.
They should open a restaurant.
From the new Swanson, restaurant-style main courses.
Swanson's cooking just for you.
When I bite into a York peppermint patty, I get the sensation of cold, crisp mountain air against my face as I race towards liftoff in the whole World Championship ski jump.
York Peppermint Patty. Get the sensation of York's dark, rich chocolate covering a cool, crisp mint center.
And the crowd roars as he executes a faultless landing.
Lovely, Arthur. You win a silver.
Get the York sensation.
Take the train. Take the train to the plane. Take the train to the plane. Take the train to the plane.
The JFK Express. 8 stops along Avenue of the Americas and in Brooklyn. Only $3.50 including shuttle bus. Look for these blue signs or call 212-858-7272. 858-7272.
Take the train to the plane. The train to the plane. Take the train.
Why have over 1 million people taken the JFK Express?
Because it's faster than taking a taxi. Because it's very fast, clean, and safe.
And that's the only way to fly.
It's safe.
Oh, I work for United Airlines, and it's quicker than the bus. So we're taking the train to the plane to save money.
To spend in Paris.
Take the train to the plane.
Take the train to the plane.
The JFK Express. Only $4 including shuttle bus. Call 858-7272.
Train to the plane.
Not very many years ago, parents were afraid to let their children play together because of the danger of catching polio. Well, today, thanks to vaccines, parents can make their children immune, not only to polio, but to many other terrible diseases as well. Give your child this vital protection. Ask your doctor about immunization. It's one of the most loving things you can do for your child. For more information, write the Will Rogers Institute, White Plains, New York. Thank you.
We all know carrying a 4-leaf clover will bring you good fortune, but the history of the lucky symbol may surprise you. Yes, we're ready for our next article here, and Chloe Nonstad is going to give us more information about the 4-leaf clover. Whether you're a fan of the Boston Celtics or you have a countdown to St. Patrick's Day on your calendar, you're definitely aware of the shamrock, also known as the 3-leafed clover, and all it represents: Ireland, Celtic heritage, and of course, St. Patrick's Day traditions. But when it comes to the shamrock's famously lucky relative, the 4-leaf clover, its meaning gets more complicated. So before St. Paddy's Day on March 17th, learn about the true 4-leaf clover meaning so you can welcome good fortune not only on the big day, but throughout the rest of the year too. So, luck doesn't always come from a good St. Patrick's Day quote. One legend has it that the luck factor comes from Eve herself. As Adam and Eve were leaving the Garden of Eden, Eve is said to have plucked a single 4-leaf clover as a souvenir of paradise, and this religious connection has led to them being considered lucky ever since. 4-leaf clovers were also seen in fables. Children are recorded in folklore as carrying them in the hope that they could see fairies, and more generally, people carried them in a pre-modern world because they believed it would bring them luck and ward off illness, says Mike Cronin, the academic director of Boston College, Ireland. However, the belief that 4-leaf clovers are lucky may have already existed among the Celtic peoples, probably because of the proliferation of clovers in Ireland and the rarity of finding one with 4 leaves. Many Celtic traditions were blended with the new religion over the years, and the importance of the clover was one of them. The 4-leaf clover meaning became intertwined with Christianity, so the first 3 leaves came to represent faith, hope, and love, and the 4th leaf, God's grace or luck. In the 18th century, the cult of St. Patrick associated the 3-leaf shamrock, which is a clover, with a legend that he used to teach the Catholic doctrine of the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit in one God, says Marion R. Casey, who's a historian on the faculty of New York University's Glucksman, Ireland House. Other than the fact that they're green and everywhere, the shamrock has such symbolism that they were even recorded as being worn by Irish people as early as the 1720s. The shamrock was used as a symbol by Irish militia groups in the 1700s, and after the Act of Union, which made Ireland formally part of the United Kingdom in 1800, the shamrock appeared beside the Scottish thistle and the English rose to symbolize the unity of the three kingdoms, Casey says. A genetic study at the University of Georgia concluded that any more than 3 leaves on a clover are due to a genetic mutation in the nome of the common clover species, or the white clover, or Trifolium repens. But how rare are they? Well, according to Casey, 4-leaf clovers are as rare as the 5-leaf clover, which is considered even luckier. The 3-leaf clover is recognized as the genuine shamrock, and that is why it is emblazoned on the tails of Aer Lingus Jets, the Irish national airline. And although it has been said that 4-leaf clovers are exceedingly rare, as few as 1 in 10,000, an independent study carried out by Swiss researchers looked at 5.7 million clovers and found that the likelihood of finding one 4-leaf clover was 1 in 5,076 3-leafed ones. Much better odds. Researchers at UGA also learned that you're likely to see 4-leaf clovers during the warmer months. And if you find one, there's a higher chance of finding another one in the same area. Well, are they the same thing? Well, yes and no. Shamrocks are a type of clover. Shamrock, which comes from the Old Irish word seamrog, which means little clover, and describes a 3-leaf clover. Now, since a 4-leaf clover has 4 leaves, it is not considered a shamrock. That small lucky leaf makes all the difference. And yes, you can find clovers with more than just 4 leaves. In fact, the Guinness World Record for the most leaves found on a clover is 56. Find your very own 4-leafed good luck charm on St. Patrick's Day and beyond with the tips below. So find a patch of clover. According to Scientific American, a typical clover field contains about 200 clovers per 60 square centimeters. To increase your chances of finding a 4-leaf clover, they suggest scanning around 1.2 square meters of clovers, which works out to roughly 10,000 clover leaves. Now, instead of scanning each clover individually, look for something that deviates from the normal pattern. And once you find it, go in for closer observation. Search while the sun is still up because clovers tend to go to sleep early, folding up their leaves about an hour before sunset. And once you find a lucky, well-lit spot, it's almost like a magic eye painting. Relax your eyes and scan for the correct shape. The good news is that because it's a genetic mutation, one 4-leaf clover means another usually isn't far away, so you might double your luck. Thank you, Chloe Nonstad. She writes about quirky facts, trivia, and humor for Reader's Digest. She loves to put her research skills to use to discover the meaning behind everyday objects or the right way to interpret a pet's behavior. And as an enthusiastic pub quiz team member, her favorite topic to write about is trivia. Chloe has been covering lifestyle topics for Reader's Digest since 2020 and has also had work published in Mashed and Tasting Table. And when she's not writing, you can find her knitting, jogging, or adding another houseplant to the jungle in her apartment. Thank you, Chloe, for the great article about 4-leaf clovers. Chloe and Clover. Great stuff. Got one more break before the end of the show. We'll come back and look at the motivation of the day. And, of course, what day is today as well. What holiday. And we might have some good ones there for you, not just for St. Patrick's Day. We'll be right back.
Go meat! Go meat! I said a beef hot links! 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 I said a brat beef kielbasa hot smoked sausage cheddar wurst! I said a brat beef kielbasa hot smoked sausage cheddar wurst! When I say Hillshire, you say farm. Hillshire, farm, go meat.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Does a former drill sergeant make a terrible therapist?
And that's why yellow makes me sad, I think.
That's interesting. You know what makes me sad?
You do! Maybe we should chug on over to Mamby-Pamby land, where maybe we can find some self-confidence for you, you jackwagon!
Tissue? Cry, baby.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
If you use an automatic toilet bowl cleaner that doesn't clean well enough or last long enough, it's like flushing your good money down the drain. Try my 2000 flushes. It has chlorine bleach, the same chemical used to keep swimming pools clean. It works the same way in your toilet bowl. And it works up to 4 months. It really does. With 2000 flushes, it's not your money that goes down the drain, it's the stains. So why buy anything else?
At Pizza Hut, we make our pan pizza with dough made fresh every day, with pure mozzarella cheese and only the finest toppings. So when you've got to have a hot, delicious pizza, we modestly suggest you treat yourself to one of ours. Pizza Hut Pan Pizza.
I always make 2 packages of rice-a-roni at one time. Besides having it for dinner, we like it warmed up for breakfast. It's a great break from hash browns, and we replace those sugar-coated cereals with nutritious rice-a-roni. And for lunch, rice-a-roni extends our leftovers or blends beautifully into soups. Of course, rice-a-roni is the family favorite for dinner tonight, and tomorrow night, and the next night.
Rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat.
I miss you, Mama. I miss the city, too.
What if we sent you a little bit of your hometown?
Now, how you gonna do that?
White Castle hamburgers from back home.
You can't get them out here. My folks sent them.
Hey, time to get White Castle. White Castle.
You know, on my first date, we stopped at a White Castle.
White Castle has the taste. People won't live without.
Wow, it's National Peanut Lovers Day today on what holiday it is, and we got the story for you about the history of the peanut. Why not? Good way to celebrate it. It's Friday, and if you're looking for something that is not meat, for all you Lent people out there, peanut butter and jelly, good old PBJ. Why not, right? Well, this day is dedicated to fans of peanuts and the legume itself. Wait, a legume? Yes, the peanut is, as a matter of fact, a member of the legume family, like peas, beans, or lentils. And did you know that the average American consumes about 6 pounds of nuts per year? Peanuts are more than just nature's sweet snacks. They are also healthy and packed with important nutrients, especially protein. Scientists say nut eaters may live longer than non-consumers. Peanuts may be enjoyed alone or in various nut-based treats. Well, peanuts, like every popular crop today, have come a long way. And while the peanut is now cultivated in tropical and subtropical regions across the world, it is believed that the plant is native to South America. And by the 1700s, the plant made its way to North America through Spanish explorers. Subsequently, Spanish returnees took peanuts to Europe with them, and cross-continental merchants took peanuts to Africa and Asia. And although several commercial peanut farms existed in the U.S. as early as the 18th century, they were only a handful. And for a long time, peanuts were almost exclusive to the southern U.S. This was largely due to the crop's tedious cultivation and harvesting techniques, and partly because peanuts were believed to be food for the indigent. It wasn't until after the Civil War that the demand for peanuts took off and grew beyond the southern United States. At the close of the 19th century, technological innovation simplified the production, harvesting, and processing of peanuts. This led to the growth and popularity of the industry. With high-tech automated machines, it's now easier to produce, package, store, and market peanut-based derivatives like butter, oil, and various tasty treats. 4 varieties of peanuts are common in the U.S. The Runner, the Spanish, Valencia, and Virginia. The runner is the most popular variety, constituting about 80% of the peanuts cultivated in the U.S., while sweet-flavored Valencia is the least cultivated type, accounting for less than 1% of peanut production in the U.S. Today, the U.S. exports peanuts to different countries around the world, with the crop contributing about $4 billion to the economy annually. Wow. So it all started 3,500 years ago, goes to 1800, jumps to 1900. In 1903, the talented botanist George Washington Carver begins research into peanuts at Tuskegee Institute. Yes. And what are you going to do today? Well, Dothan, Alabama is known as the peanut capital of the world. And you thought it was Georgia. For all you Jimmy Carter fans out there. And the city hosts the National Peanut Festival every year. Take a trip to Dothan to see peanut farms and catch a live experience of the harvest. And if you can't travel, that's all right. You can also celebrate the day by sharing your favorite peanut snacks with your family and friends. Peanuts remain one of the most versatile nuts. There are many ways to enjoy them in snacks, butter, oil, and so many more. Read about them and indulge. Yep. Here's 5 interesting facts about peanuts. Americans spend almost $800 million a year on peanut butter. Takes about 540 peanuts to produce a 12-ounce jar of it. Former presidents Jimmy Carter and Thomas Jefferson were peanut farmers. Goober, a nickname for peanuts, comes from Nguba, a Bantu name for peanuts. That's why they call them goobers. Americans eat about 800 million pounds of peanut butter. That's approximately 500 billion peanuts each year, even more than elephants. And why we love this Peanut Lovers Day? Well, peanuts have traveled the world. National Peanut Lovers Day celebrates its humble origin and great history. And it's no coincidence that 2/3 of all snacks consumed in the U.S. include peanuts, oil, butter. Americans love peanuts in all forms. And they consist of many healthy nutrients, protein, vitamins, fiber, and good fats. Peanuts are also heart healthy and are a good source of long-lasting energy. We'll look at National Peanut Day next time on Monday, 2027, since we won't be here in 2025 or 2026 because it's on a Saturday and Sunday. So the next time we'll look at National Peanut Day will be 3 years from now on this same date. Speaking of which, I have this breakfast item a lot myself. When I have my oatmeal for breakfast in the morning, I take a scoop of Slim Fast powder, which has helped me, help me with the Weight Watchers plan and drop those 30 pounds. But I take a scoop of the rich chocolate royals, Slim Fast, put it in there, a little bit of organic whole milk, and then 1 tablespoon, sometimes 2 if I want it, of peanut butter. So now I have a chocolate peanut butter oatmeal. It's like eating Reese's peanut butter cups. Tastes so much like it, but it's so much healthier for you. Okay, let's look at the motivation of the day, the Daily Motivator. It's time. Let me see if I can. The Daily Motivator. Yes, that's what we need. All right, and here we go. Today's topic for Friday, March 15th is diligence matters. Oh, yeah. Ralph Marston once again with today's quote. Nothing falls completely apart all at once. Nothing comes fully together all at once. Most consequential occurrences, whether negative or positive, do not instantly spring into existence. To create more of what's good, to steer away from what's bad, requires continuing effort over time. With diligence, you leverage the small moments to create great influence. Diligence matters because of the power it enables you to claim over the unfolding of your life. Act with intention today, then again tomorrow, and continue as each new situation arises. With your commitment to positive purpose, invoke the power of your own diligence. Fully live this moment, but don't get so lost in it that you neglect the diligence that can make such a positive difference. Enjoy the richness of today. appreciate all the goodness your diligence has brought and work to keep that goodness coming. Thank you, Ralph Marston, for a fantastic daily motivator for Friday, March 15th, 2024. Oh, boy, what a great show, folks. Thank you for tuning in today on this St. Patrick's Day show, and enjoy the weekend of St. Patrick's Day with your family and friends. And even if you're not Irish, enjoy it in a safe manner, no matter if you are. From all of us here at the David 3000 Network, I'm Jason DeCanio. Thank you again. And remember, be honest, be real, and keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. We'll see you on Monday for more. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to the David 3000 Network for more great content like this one.